And you're good.
Dude, welcome back to the Dudes in Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we got another great episode for you today. As always, I am joined by the dudes. We have, of course, the main man from way out west as he is celebrating the Jets. K-Stel, the Sportsmanship Award winner, Nick Howard, will be joining us. But hey, all of our football teams 0-2 start on the season, all in the same spot. I'm sure we'll get to plenty of football action. We might as well check in on the main man from way out west. It seems like it's going a little bit rough over there. How's the past week been? How's everything looking?
Horrific. Hello, folks. Next.
Great commentary there from the main man from way out west. He is the most improved since 2001, if you didn't know that. So honestly, but K-Stel, are you feeling the same way, or are you feeling a little bit different?
It's been a bad 3 weeks, and this week was the worst of all.
That was it, huh? That's all you guys gotta say. This is a great podcast. We have
All
a
for
lot of filler space.
Hey, because we're trying.
We know you guys are going to talk everybody's
Yeah.
ear off here in a minute, so try to get through these intros really quickly. I see what you're saying. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit of college football first this time, because we do have that Sunday Night Football game currently going on. So by the time we get around to that, maybe that'll be over. Some great college football games this weekend. Some big upsets. But also some pretty, really interesting games. First one I want to bring up is Alabama. After their loss to Florida State, didn't know how, if they're going to be able to bounce back, get a really convincing bounce back win over the Wisconsin Badgers. They ended up winning 38-14. Ryan Williams had 5 receptions, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty huge there. Ty Simpson had 4 touchdowns and 382 yards. So obviously Alabama was all over it. K-Stel, is this a look towards the future, or is this just a little bit too hype for this Alabama team?
Well, I think we have to remember that this Alabama team is still talented. It's still good. They just ran into a good team. I think we all forgot about Florida State because they had the Irish curse, which is real. We're seeing it right now with K-State. We saw it with Nebraska. Florida State was a good team. They've had a good program for a while. They just had that one bad year. It also goes to say that Wisconsin literally has zero clue what they're doing at all. They have zero clue. They literally paid Kansas to take Jeff Grimes away from Kansas. Let me make that very clear. Kansas had a offensive coordinator who took them back 2 steps instead of, forward 1 step. And Wisconsin went out and paid Kansas. They bought out Jeff Grimes and made them their offensive coordinator. And now it looks awful. So it's very clear that the leadership in Wisconsin is clueless right now. They're clueless. They have no recruits. They have no coaching. They have no culture. They're just another Big Ten school that has a cool little logo and a cool little vibe that no one really cares about. And they got spanked by Alabama. And it's not a good look for the Big Ten, in my opinion. That's the real thing.
Yeah, the Big Ten had a really good showing out here in week 2. Had some big wins, but yeah, that doesn't help them for the medium part of their middle pack of the Big Ten. But yeah, a good win for Alabama there. The biggest upset of the day was Georgia Tech beating Clemson 24-21. Hayes King over there in the read option that they continuously run over there for the Yellow Jackets ended up taking Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers out. Klubnik kind of looked a little bit stinky throughout the entire game. He only had 1 touchdown. He did have a pick for 270 yards. The one positive thing, Clemson, Adam Randall looked pretty good for the Clemson Tigers in the running back and the rushing category, but I mean it was all Georgia Tech. Clemson falls to 1-2. P4 as a 1-2 team in the ACC, as a fan of Duke, who is also in the ACC. If you have 2 losses,
bro. Ugh.
Yeah, not a great look there for Duke, but Dabo.
You're meant to look good though. Are we going to talk about the Duke game, or can I sneak it in right here?
You can sneak it
Sneak
in
it
right
in,
here, but I also
sneak it
want
in.
your
Okay.
opinions on, do you think Clemson has any chance of making the college football playoff after?
Playoff with 2 wins this early in the season, or 2 losses
Two
this
losses.
early in the season, tough. Now, if you're looking at it from the Duke perspective, 2 losses in the season can still probably make a bowl game. Manny Diaz building the team with Mensa. He's already a sophomore. Had a good game against Tulane. I wasn't able to watch it. I was doing my own coaching at the time, but he had 3 touchdowns. I saw some of the highlights. He looked good. I would have liked him to get the win and go over Tulane. But that's good for Duke to build on and get into a good bowl game kind of thing. Like even they could face Clemson in a bowl game. But I do think with 2 losses at this point, even though it's 12-team playoff, 2 losses is tough to recover from. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not plausible. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been a lot of losses so far, though. Who's our 3 undefeateds? Isn't it like UNLV and like?
Michigan is undefeated.
There's so much.
Like
Okay, there's a couple.
full undefeated. Like
Well, didn't
teams?
UNLV beat up a bunch of good teams? Like Michigan's playing fucking soup cans.
Michigan's
UNLV
not
had a
undefeated. They
good-
lost to Oklahoma last week.
There you go. That's what you get for listening to him.
Let me look, because I know there's still plenty of undefeated teams. Now, in the ACC specifically, there's Miami, who's really good.
I mean, they're going to
Georgia
have.
Tech is now ranked.
They-
which is pretty dope.
they play
State's
Florida
7th.
State.
They're gonna be undefeated.
They play Florida State at home, and they also play. Their last game of the season is South Carolina away. So if they do beat Syracuse, North Carolina, Boston College, SMU, Duke, I mean they play Furman, second to last game of the season. The only shot they have is if they beat Florida State and South Carolina, and a lot of other things that they can't control. That's
The only way they
thing.
really make it is if they win the ACC championship. They only have 1 loss in the ACC right now, so if they're able to beat up a few more of those teams, even with 2 losses, you win the ACC championship, you're guaranteed a spot in. They don't have the hardest competition, like we've said, yes, as Kyle's been saying, is Florida State. That'll be really tough. And then at South Carolina, even though South Carolina was another one of those teams that took a pretty bad loss, but we'll have to wait and see on Dabo and the Clemson Tigers. The top. They're usually the top of the ACC, but it might be somebody else's turn this year. Speaking of somebody else's turn at the top of the ACC, the Miami Hurricanes embarrassed South Florida. South Florida had beaten Florida. They'd beaten Boise State. Had all the hype going into Miami, and Miami told them, "Listen, bro, you were not this good of a team. We are going to demonstrate what a good team looks like." Carson Beck, 340 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Miami's running back had 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fletcher Jr. on 16 carries. It was just all Miami throughout this. So right now, obviously, it looks like Miami and Florida State are the 2 teams to catch in the ACC, but we'll see a little bit more as we continue down the road towards the college football playoff. Another one of the big upsets we kind of briefly mentioned, South Carolina lost to Vanderbilt 31-7 at home. Pretty embarrassing loss for Lenora Sellers in that squad. Looking to maybe compete in the SEC, you cannot lose to Vanderbilt and think you're going to make a college football playoff. You cannot have that happen. They've got to play. They've got a huge stretch coming up. They play at Mizzou next weekend. They do still play at LSU versus Oklahoma versus Alabama, at Ole Miss, and then at Texas A&M. So South Carolina's got a really tough schedule, but really bad loss for them. They should have won.
I don't mean to budge in, but we did forget an ACC team that's doing pretty well right now, and that's the woke ideology, which is not my name. That is the name that the students have given them, and that is Cal Berkeley, baby, the Bears.
They're 3-0 and
The
haven't
Bears.
played anybody.
Oh,
They haven't
I
played
know, but they're
anybody.
3-0.
So
They play
what?
San Diego
Oh.
State. Bro, look who's the hardest team they play this year? Duke? Is it
North Carolina.
Duke?
Louisville's pretty good.
Louisville?
It's probably Duke. Yeah,
Duke or
somebody- they don't
Louisville?
play any.
Bro, California could go 10-2.
That's not unreal.
Berkeley could go 10-2, bro. And they could make a push to the
They beat Oregon
ACC.
State, Texas Southern, and Minnesota. I mean, I guess they kind of beat.
We're not going to say Oregon State and Minnesota are like world beaters out here or anything like that. But hey, the woke ideology is coming through.
What the wait to see.
Isn't their QB the one that everyone's like, oh, this is the NFL quarterback? Is it going to be the new?
I have no idea.
Oh, who's a Berkeley quarterback?
There's a fly. I don't know. Their current quarterback is Jared
Goff. Jared Goff is a
No.
Berkeley guy.
No, I know, but Jaron Kawhi Saga Palotele. Don't know how to say his
Is a
name, so Kawhi-
Polynesian
Freshman.
name.
freshman. So, yeah, we'll have to wait to see on the Bears there. Kyle's now a new California Bears fan. Good for him. In the matchup of the day, probably, Georgia ends up beating Tennessee in overtime 44-41. Tennessee looked really good at the very beginning. First 3 drives, go down and score 3 times. Georgia always finds a way to crawl back into games. They're never out of it. They came back. Tennessee had to try to kick a game-winning field goal. Could not miss. Went to overtime, and then Georgia ended up winning on a touchdown. But even though Tennessee, they are still looking like a team that could really compete for an SEC championship. And could maybe potentially make that college football playoff. It's going to be pretty difficult. They really needed this one. But Aguilar went for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. Gunnar Stockton had 2 touchdowns for 304 yards. And even though Aguilar did have a few mistakes with the 2 interceptions. So Georgia looks pretty good. They were always pretty good. But going into Tennessee and beating them is a huge boost to them. Tennessee has only a few more trap games coming up. It looks like Alabama here in a few weeks at Alabama will be interesting. Oklahoma coming there, and then even Vanderbilt, they're actually ranked right now.
Did Vanderbilt alumni figure out that NIL works in their favor because all of their alumni are just incredibly rich? And they were like, wait a second, you mean we can pay people to come play for us? And the AD was like, yeah, dude, you can give these kids money. And they play for you. You can give them good money. And now look, they're beating South Carolina 31-7. Theo Vaughn is giving the coach's mother, or what's that? You hear that story? P4. What is that story? Theo Vaughn.
Was it the quarterback or the coach?
It's the coach.
The coach's mom will go on a date
No,
with Theo now that they won.
is it no? I don't think Theo's going on a date. I think it's like Theo's mom is going on a date.
No, not Theo's mom. No, it's the other way around, dude.
Okay, so Theo's on a date with the coach's mom, or the.
That's why I said I think it's the quarterback.
Let me look it up. Let me source this real
Jesus
quick.
Christ.
Yes, it's the content that we like discussing on the Dudes and Sports Podcast. It's peak content here. SK
Yes,
Stelter.
Vanderbilt does have a bunch of money. Tennessee's
Yeah.
got a bunch of shit going on down there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on Tennessee. The other really big games in that evening slate were, the first one was a disastrous loss for Notre Dame, 41-40, messing up on a hold on an extra point, ended up losing them the game. Pretty crazy going on there. Texas A&M, good win for them. They're now 3-0. Notre Dame 0-2, no conference. P4, do you think Notre Dame has a chance to make the college football playoff? Since they are
Absolutely.
not
That's
still
the whole
even with
point of the
0
college
and 2
football
and not
playoff.
be. Really think that they don't, with 0 and 2 schedule start. I mean, who do they play left? I just don't know if they have a resume that can really, because they're not in a conference, so they can't go to a conference championship and get the auto bid. They have to blow everybody else out basically, and they really don't play any. Those were their 2 high-profile games, and they both took losses. Now they were close losses. So yeah, I could see they could make it to the college football playoff, but I think the road ahead is very tough. I don't know if they'll make it there. I think they're going to try and get some of those more.
I mean, they'll play
teams
USC still.
Yeah, they play at USC, but that's
And they play
at
a bunch
Arkansas.
of ACC schools. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if they
They
run
have a
the
chance,
table
yeah.
at
10
if they
and 2
run
at
the
10 and
table-
2, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we wish they would have would have won one of those games.
Now, the
So
problem with
they-
Clemson that Clemson has is that their best chance is by winning their conference. If you lose to the wrong teams in your conference, you might not even make the conference championship game, which totally fucks you.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you're Notre Dame, you get that free pass. You play fucking Navy and all that shit.
Right.
That's yeah. This is easy play for them. This is fucking free play mode.
Yeah, they can figure it out. Maybe they can go 10-2. Hopefully, you don't have a slip up. You have a slip up, it's pretty much game over for the college football playoff. But they only lost by 3 and by 1 to top 15 opponents. And one looks like they might win the ACC. So nothing too worried there on P4's end. I'm a little concerned for them. I thought they played well, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. But that schedule does.
I
look
don't
nice
want
for
them to make the playoff.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I'm not a Notre Dame fan as much either. But just look at the schedule wise. Yeah, they can make it.
This is insane. If Vanderbilt beats South Carolina, Vandy quarterback Diego Paiva promised podcaster Theo Vaughn a date with his mom.
Yeah, okay, the quarterback. I don't know why I thought it was the
Where
coach.
should I take her? Theo Vaughn and Dylan Ravola's mom.
I don't know, man. Wait, where should I?
Hey, Diego Paiva, sorry.
You think Drewski will go along as the wingman?
Oh my gosh. Stop.
The other great matchup would actually
Is that a
ended up
mug with no
being
handles?
a barn burner.
Oh,
Was
koozie.
LSU beating Florida 20-10. LSU, I wish we had Howard on here. You could talk a little bit about the Tigers a little bit. They look good. Their defense looks really good. Offense kind of had a little bit of struggles against Florida. That's a little concerning since the SEC is going to have way better offenses than the Florida Gators. They will play at Ole Miss this year, at Alabama, at Vanderbilt, which is looking like maybe a tough matchup for them. So their schedule's not as bad, but still being in the SEC, being 3-0. Getting that win over Clemson, which honestly isn't looking that great right now. They're not even ranked. But we'll have to wait and see. LSU Tigers, Howard, probably really looking forward. Hopefully they can make a deep run in the SEC and maybe even go on to win a national championship. That is basically it. There was a bunch of other blowouts. Let's see. Oregon beat Northwestern. Ohio State killed Ohio. Texas only beat UTEP. Again, their offense struggled. They beat them 27-10, but like it still is like weird over there that they don't have an offense that's really working that well. But they will be tested coming up. Not next week, but the week after. Florida will be a good test for them at the Swamp. But then they don't really play. They play Oklahoma, which will be a decent game too. But the Longhorns get another win. Who else is on? Illinois got a win over Western Michigan. Western Michigan's not very good, 38-0. Oklahoma beat Temple 42-3. Illinois Cyclones continue to look like a top Big 12 team with 24-16 win over Arkansas State. Actually, they should have won by more than that, but that's kind of how Iowa State plays. Mizzou big win, 52-10. Michigan beat the crap out of Central Michigan.
Is Mizzou a good offensive team?
Yeah, they're a good offensive team. I will have to wait. They haven't played any good defenses yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the only
Kansas's defense
the only
is not-
the only compatible defense they kind of played was KU.
And KU's defense.
And
is
KU still is unbelievably limited at linebacker.
Yeah.
And that's
they have
it.
a test this week at South Carolina. South Carolina, or not at South Carolina. South Carolina's going to Mizzou, but South
Dude,
Carolina will be looking for a little bit of a revenge.
Mizzou should kick the
Silly.
piss out of them. They should, dude. And you know that. And listen, I feel like PC in a weird way. So here's the difference between me and PC as KU fans: is PC is a Mizzou hate. I hate Mizzou. I don't want Mizzou to win at all, which is okay. It's valid for a KU fan to believe that. I am a critical thinker, and I want
Oh, you did not call yourself a critical thinker.
I
There's
want.
nothing that ever
Listen,
goes on
I
behind those
want.
two fucking eyes.
I want Mizzou to win as much games as they possibly can.
That's terrible.
I want Mizzou to win every game
That's
they
like
possibly do.
P4 saying he
Because
wants North Carolina
because
to win as many games as
because
possible.
because here's the thing is that I know that Mizzou will never ever win any national championships of any meaning in the next 50 million years ever. But if they do good during the regular season, so what? That means if Kansas goes 10-2 or 11-1, their only losses to Mizzou, then that means that Kansas is also going to the playoffs, or if they lose the Big 12 championship, so what? It doesn't matter. I also have another KU thing to say right after we're done with the college football thing. But I just wanted to add that in there because we've kind of been vanilla over here. There hasn't been really much excitement going on between the both of us, and I just wanted to throw a dig at PC.
You just like to.
What do I like to do?
Stupid things on our podcast where it's like, oh, I don't hate my rival because I want my rival to be successful. No, I want Mizzou to go.
Wouldn't your rival
What are
being
you talking
successful?
about?
But listen. But wouldn't your rival being successful also cause you to be successful?
No,
Not really.
no,
No.
never.
Wouldn't that do that? But like in this pattern, it would. Like if KU went 11-1 and their only loss was to the best team in the SEC, I feel like people would go, "Hey, bro, this KU team is pretty darn good." Because Mizzou's the best team in the SEC,
That
which
means
is
that they're good, and I don't want them good. I don't care.
okay.
if
So
it helps our resume, whatever,
so
bro.
then KU goes
Who cares?
11-1, but then all of a sudden Mizzou's like the seventh best team in the SEC, and people
we
go,
still win, or we still end up making
Sure.
a player go with 11-1.
sure, but that means KU was 11-1 and they had a mediocre defense.
Yes, I would rather KU be 11-1 and make the college football playoff.
I'll
than-
just-
Mizzou be bad and like go against us. Than
I'll-
Mizzou being pretty good and making the.
I'll
college
throw
football
this
playoff.
in there.
I don't want to see them in there.
I-
I want to see them
I-
out of a stupid another bowl game. So all those Mizzou fans that think, oh, we're a
Okay.
football school, can continue to not be a football school.
Okay, I'll ask you this question, PC, because I asked this question to a fellow KU guy with K-State guys around me. Because K-State guys, they're down in the dumps right now. They're
Good.
they're down.
That's where they should be.
But if KU went 10-2, it won the Big 12 championship and made the playoffs, and the only two losses KU had was Mizzou and K-State, would you be acceptable with that? Would you go?
Man,
Like, would
I'm
you?
gonna be excited because they made the playoffs, but like I don't want to see them.
I mean,
anywhere near.
that would be the most KU
Anywhere
season.
near.
That would be
I
the
don't-
most KU season of all time. Is they make
Why
the
would
they
I
win.
ask for my rival to do well?
That would be the most KU season ever. Is they go 10-2 and their only losses are
Oh,
against.
yeah, sure, great. I mean, like once you get to the college football playoff, it doesn't like it's not a new game, but it is. So like, yes, you want to try and get that home field advantage because it actually does really help.
That would
But,
be
like-
so funny, bro. That would be. I mean, I wouldn't give a crap.
I don't even want to put
because
that in the air.
because here's the thing: is that I know that KU made the football playoffs over K-State, which is going to happen. But like, if K-State went 2-2, because they're going to win 2 games, 2 or 3 games is K-State's max, because they have the Irish curse. That's just the reality of it. We all know where this comes from. Like, can we look up like the Irish curse and every team who's played in Ireland? What has happened to them? Nebraska went 2-10. FSU went what 1-11 or whatever, 2-10. K-State's on the exact same track, bro. It's literally, it's not even a conspiracy at this point. It is proven facts. This should be in every single database in the Athletic at this point. But that was funny. I did ask a KU fan that, and I said, if you went 2-10 or 10-2 this year, won the Big 12 championship, and your only losses were Mizzou and K-State, would you be okay with that? And he looked me dead in the eyes and said that would be the worst thing to ever happen to this KU team ever. And I said, see, here's the problem, dude. Is you're the problem. Is you're so focused on everybody else's problems. You're not focused on yours. Anyways, what else happened?
Kyle's a new Mizzou fan. Clip it. He doesn't care about the Kansas Jayhawks.
This is
He would rather
ridiculous.
see the
This is
Mizzou
ridiculous.
Tigers go top
It's
3 and make a college football playoff. That's what he's saying right there. But let's move on to NFL since we don't have any more college football. Weird takes out of K-Stel. We need to really consider this 10-day contract.
Well, it's been like
we just keep
150
renewing it.
million.
No, we keep renewing it, and like we just feel bad for you
He's
because
not
we know
that
you don't
good,
have
man.
anything else to do on Sunday nights except for make stupid takes and get clips. So I mean, we let you kind of hang out with us, paying us under the table, but it is what it is. Let's talk some NFL football. Thursday night football. The Green Bay Packers beat the Commanders 27-18.
2 games tomorrow.
Jordan Love, 2 touchdowns, 292 yards. Tucker Kraft, what about this tight end? 6 receptions, 124 yards, 1 touchdown. P Ford, I think we've said this before, but are Packers now like, if not the number one, the number
Hey,
two
I have a
favorite
stat.
in the
I'm not going to
NFC?
ask nobody to look up a stat. Bart Starr won Super Bowl at 27. Brett Favre won Super Bowl at 27. Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl at 27 years of age. Jordan Love, his birthday's in November.
27.
Any guesses how old he's turning?
27.
He's turning 27 in November.
There's going to be a lot of happy bettors out there, aren't there? I picked the
Uh-oh.
Packers to do it. They're going to beat.
And you know what? I at first I think Kenny Clark's a real good player, and he still is for the Cowboys. But getting Micah there, I mean, that's the cherry
It's
on
such
top,
a,
huh?
it's such
And
a.
Matthew Golden, he hasn't even gotten really any targets so far.
Yeah, he's kind of playing a backup.
I
It's kinda
mean,
weird what they're doing.
they're just winning the way that they need to win, and we'll get into some other games, but that is what it's the beautiful thing about winning. You almost don't even know that you're winning. It's just everything's clicking. It's just the stuff isn't going bad. It's just going good,
Oh, no.
and that's what
It
leads
wasn't
you to
even
win the
Bijan. It
football
wasn't
game.
even Bijan who ran the touchdown, bro. It wasn't even Bijan.
But we've got the Green Bay Packers, who just everything's really working for them on all cylinders. And then who they play? They played Detroit.
They beat the brakes off of Detroit. And
I
now
mean,
they
what
beat
are
the
they gonna
Commanders
do?
And what
pretty
Detroit
convincingly.
beat
They
the
never
Patriots.
lost
Detroit
control
and
of
the
that
Detroit guys from last year have not had great starts to the season.
They played really well today. They ended up having.
Offensively, they did a good
But I guess
job.
they're gonna play the Bears, so what can we really?
And my Bears take was so flabbergasted. That's a ridiculousness. It's ridiculousness. Ben Johnson just got put with the worst quarterback ever.
Hey man, it is what it is. But hey, yeah, Packers look really, really good. We'll have to wait and see. They end up playing the Browns next week.
Oh, and
They
Tucker
got
Kraft's on my fantasy team.
Tucker Kraft is a very good pickup if you don't have him for fantasy. I saw that he was not available anymore. But the Green Bay Packers have 6 games in a row where they should win. The Browns, the Cowboys, the Bengals, the Cardinals, and then the Steelers, and then finally the Panthers before they play the Eagles in November. So right now, looking pretty good to be a Green Bay Packers fan. Commanders, not too worried. The Packers look pretty good. JD still looked all right, but again, nothing crazy going on over there. Then we had our noon slates. We had a few interesting ones and a few stinkers. We had the Bengals end up beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-27, but the biggest news is Joe Burrow going out of this game. Reports early, we don't know. It's turf toe, so he could be back next week or it could be in 2 months. But they ended up winning. They're 2-0 now. K-Snell, obviously you lose your starting quarterback, especially with Joe Burr. If he's out for significant time, let's say he's out 4 weeks. Okay, that's just the average median right now between 1 and 8 or whatever. He's out 4 weeks. Are you getting concerned that the Bengals don't win any of those 4 games and you find yourself at 2-4 going into week 7?
Well, let's
Because they play the Vikings, the Broncos, the Lions, and the Packers.
yeah.
the next 4
The problem is that the Bengals defense, as good as they are, and I'm not gonna make this a Mike Pennell thing. I promise I would not say anything about Mike Pennell. But Joe Burrow is a good quarterback. He's a top 7 quarterback for the majority of people. And Jamar Chase is a top 3 wide receiver. That's just the plain facts. But at some point, the Bengals were going to have a fallout of some point because we knew what their team was made of. And it just kind of sucks that now that Joe Burrow's out for 3 months apparently is what the
Yeah,
the
that's
stats
some of
is.
the reports are saying 3 months, which is
Now what
Wait,
we're going now
it's
what we're
not
going to
good.
hear is that the Bengals are going to end up being below 500 after these next
The
4 games.
Bengals' next 4 games are their hardest remaining
Yeah,
other than this
they
little stretch of
will.
Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore. But they play Minnesota, Denver, Detroit, Green
Yes.
Bay. They pretty much just hit up the NFC North with the addition of Denver. And
But Denver's got a good defense, so it's over. Like they're not going to do that. Like Pat Surtain's
Jake
going
Browning looked really good today.
Pat Surtain's literally going to match up against Jamar Chase. It's not even going to be close. But here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. The Bengals are going to go under 500, and then they're going to do this little half horse like, oh, we're almost going to make the playoffs. Joe Burrow's going to come back and this and that and whatever. And then all we're going to hear from Bengals fans is that, well, if Joe Burrow wasn't out, we'd be in the playoffs. And that just simply isn't true. It's just simply not true. Because the Bengals have, and P4 told me that, he told me this, one of the first things he's ever told me, is that the Bengals organization is a bunch of jokesters. They're just a bunch of clowns. They have no money. They got nothing. They have no, all they do is get,
They don't have a scouting staff.
they get draft picks. They get draft picks, and there you go. And they basically have to sell off their entire fortune to basically pay these players, which is what they do. And they're going to pay these players on 1 year to 2 year.
This is the Brown family's fortune.
yeah,
The Cincinnati Bengals. They're not billionaire crypto and then working on football.
Yeah, this isn't
This is
like
how
some
they make
magical thing. Like the Bengals will never experience any sort of success except for what they did in 2021. That's it. That was the closest they could have ever gotten. And they didn't do it. They didn't have their defense was good because their defensive coordinator. That guy should be going somewhere else because of how the way he can scheme things up is great, but he has no players. I can't believe he's nowhere else. If you put him on the freaking I'm not gonna say the Patriots because that's inappropriate, but if you put that guy on the Dolphins right now, I guarantee you the Dolphins probably have 1 win. Because he just study. All he does is look at the TV. He just studies. The Bengals, they have no players. They have nobody on their team. All they do is pick up a bunch of nobodies that good teams sign off. And now their run defense is really good. Huh, I wonder why. I'm not going to say his name. I promise I won't. But they get gifted these players, and rightfully so, they take them, and then their defense is good. Wow! Well, they paid Hendricks, or whatever his name is, Hendrickson. So they pay Hendrickson a year, which is good and all. He's going to be good for them. But organizationally, is that probably the best choice they could have made? I don't think so. They probably could have traded him for draft picks. But at the end of the day, they're never gonna. They don't even pay their rookies. So.
this game, the Sunday Night Football game, is definitely over.
Yeah, bro, it's sad. Did you just throw a pick here? Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah. We'll wait and see on the Bengals here. Next game, Cowboys Giants ended up going to overtime. Cowboys.
Okay, answer me this. And I was holding my tongue all day. Sorry to take the reins, but you said something today. When you say Russ isn't cooked, what does that mean?
Last week he looked like washed. He looked really
Well, that's the
bad.
problem, is that he has been washed for the last couple years.
Yeah.
And he's 37. And now he had a decent game, which is pretty much just Malik Neighbors burning the Cowboys' defensive backs. And now what? He's going to make the play? Like, at what level is he? What, he just had a good game? Is that what you meant? Because I agree, he had a good game.
Yeah,
But at what point are you not washed? That's
Yeah,
got to be a
that's-
sustained...
Yeah, if he can be successful these next few weeks, you think I just saw some passes that looked like old school Rush. Like some
He's
of those
always
plays-
been able to throw. They got
Neighbors
the
is really
time.
good.
I mean, Dallas sucks.
Yeah, Dallas.
They suck.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, they got in a shootout with the fucking Giants today.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all you need to see.
Which is crazy because that tells you exactly what you need to know about the Eagles' offense, and that also just makes the Chiefs such a pathetic team. Sorry.
It'll get to the Chiefs.
It does. It does, bro. That's
We
the
don't need to
sad,
talk about the Chiefs.
that's the saddest part about this whole thing is that the Cowboys defense sucks, but that also means that the Eagles offense is also dog crap. But that also means that the team who has all the stars is pathetic. Anyways,
I don't know
continue.
why Kyle's talking. Yeah, Kyle wants to talk about
Continue.
The Chiefs already.
I'm trying to continue this conversation because we need Nick Howard for Smarter Dumb. We need Nick Howard for Smarter
Yeah,
Dumb.
we'll see
So
if
we're-
Howard shows up.
No,
you
we
know.
need him for
We
Smarter
heard
Dumb.
he was looking at the Great Reef off of the coast of Australia and trying to learn how to preserve that specifically. But yeah, the Giants, Cowboys, both these teams suck. Speaking of teams that suck, the Bears, Kyle's AFC North, second place or champion, I can't quite remember. Lost to the Lions,
It was
52 to
second place.
21. The Bears suck. Detroit looks like they got it back a little bit after losing the Packers, but losing the Packers right now in Green Bay does not look like that bad of a loss. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, with the Lions. But the Bears, they look like they're the Bears. So that's that with them. The Rams ended up beating the Titans 33-19. Feel bad for a guy like Cam Ward, who's been playing pretty decent and doesn't have anybody that can catch the football.
That touchdown pass.
Yeah, he's
That
just
it's not the throw that you make in the NFL. Now it's
No.
cool that it worked out for him, and congratulations to him. I wouldn't plan on that one working every week, Cam.
yeah.
I wouldn't put that in the playbook.
Right,
I guess
yeah,
is just
for
what I'm
sure.
saying.
For sure, not the most reliable thing. But the Rams start up 2-0. Puka looked really good. Devontae Adams had 106 yards and a touchdown. And so the Rams offense looks good. So they might be we kind of thought they might be a threat out in that NFC West, but there's some other teams in there that we always kind of knew it was going to be kind of a scramble for some good teams. But the Rams pick up another good win over the Titans. Titans are 0-2. You see some bright spots from Cam, but there's a lot more pieces missing on that team. The next one is pretty unbelievable. The Dolphins lose to the Patriots 33-27. I mean, you talk about how bad the Cowboys are. How bad are the Dolphins? I mean, you lose. Like, the Patriots aren't that bad. Dolphins suck. Their only good player right now is AJ. That's it. I mean, Tyreek's okay.
Bro, he's getting open, bro. Tyreek is getting open every time.
Tua cannot make a pass to save his life.
Nope.
Did you guys just
Nope,
catch
nope,
that
nope,
look in Case
nope,
Stelt's eye? Did
nope,
you just catch
nope,
that little
nope,
glance in
nope,
Case Stelt's
nope,
eye when he was
nope,
talking about
nope,
Tyreek?
No, don't do it because
I smell
because
it.
because
It's on the
no
horizon.
because listen, what you're thinking of is something completely different of what I was going to say because I have it within my soul right now. It's within that part that I will express about, and you only believe that I'm going to say what you think I'm going to say, but it's completely different. It is. It's completely different. But yes, Tyreek Hill was getting open.
Oh, you want him to go to the Chargers so he can do good there. So then when you guys beat the Chargers,
Yeah, see,
at the
that's
end of the
because he loves it
season-
when teams
So
go to their
that-
rivals do well, right? He would love him to go to the Chargers. Actually, he should probably go to the Denver Broncos. That would make K-Stel the most happy fan in the world. Because if we look, actually, the Chargers are probably the best because we lost to the Chargers. So it would look like a better loss if they had
Yeah.
him with
At
that
the end
team.
of the season.
Yeah, so
right?
everybody's gonna
When
feel
you guys
bad
were
for the
seventh
Chiefs.
wild card.
Yep. They were seventh wild card because they lost to the Chargers, who are really good. Like, it doesn't matter.
And that was
if we win or
pre-Tyreek, so
loss.
they
Yeah.
didn't figure it all out.
Yeah,
yet.
it's just make any excuse you can. Yeah, that'd go for the K-Stel's way. But we'll see if Tyreek ends up getting traded or not. I'm not 100% sure on that fact. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that. Then the 49ers and Saints played. I didn't catch too much of this game. The Saints are like one of the worst teams in the NFL. The 49ers only beat them 26-21. They did not have Brock Purdy, so Mac Jones ended up with 3
That
touchdowns.
just goes to show you how bad the Saints are.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad teams, and the Saints are definitely one of them. I mean, you lose to Mac Jones throws three tutties and almost 300 yards on you.
They kept it close though. I mean, yeah, they're bad, but it's not like that wasn't like a horrific
Right.
showing or anything. That was
Right,
like
yeah.
kind of like, oh yeah, they put together. Kamara did decent on the ground.
Yeah, Kamara's their bad. Yeah, I mean,
They
you wish
traded for
Spencer.
Jalen Polk too.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll wait and see on the 49ers. They're 2-0 out in the NFC West. Now we can get to P4's favorite part. The Bills beat the Jets 30-10. You watched this game closely, obviously. What are your thoughts and opinions on these New York Jets?
And I have love. I want this to be a part of the clip. I have love in my heart for all the players I'm about to name. Sauce fucking Gardner. Fucking Brees Hall. Fucking Braylon Allen. Quinnen had a good game. Wincy, interesting. Cisco had some good plays. Garrett did fine. Quinnen did fine. But those first guys that I mentioned, and there's some other guys who I maybe don't have as much love in my heart for, who did very bad, and I don't even think it's worth mentioning their names. But those guys who I just named had absolutely horrible showings. And those are the guys that we build around, right? That's the whole kind of point of this thing. And I think Sauce had 3 or 4 holding calls, let up a big catch on third down, and they were playing a lot of man defense, and it was kind of cool when Sauce was in man last year because they mix it up with the zone. Oh shit, they just muffed the punt. But it's rough, man. It's real rough. Lot of penalties. I hate losing to the Bills. I fucking hate the Bills. It's
I hate the Bills.
How was that?
I said
How was
this
that roughing?
yesterday.
How was that roughing the passer call? How'd that feel?
I mean, it's absolute horseshit. And that guy, Michael Clemens, and I shouldn't have even said his name. Quite honestly, he should be a Kansas City Chief. Is what he should be. He's a no good, big defensive end / too small for nose, too big for end, too slow for end. Has some good power bull rush moves.
Yeah, it's
get
absolutely
off the
Kansas.
ball, but-
Absolutely Kansas City Chief at the.
Right, he
at
just
the-
sounds like a
at the
Kansas City
heart.
Chief. I mean, he's George Karlaftis.
Oh,
he's-
don't even get me started.
But I don't know why he's a part of the team. I don't understand. There's a lot of guys who I don't know why they're not on the team. There's a lot of guys who I don't know why they are on the team. It doesn't look good. Not a single second of the game today looked good. Jeremy Ruckert got a touchdown. Mason Taylor had a drop. Garrett had nothing going. Inkstrand. What the hell? I mean, I'm lost in space, guys. Just keep on moving forward. I mean, I don't have to... Here, what's the way to move out of the way for this? This is what they said. This is what our head coach said. I agree.
Yeah, interesting for the Jets there. They are also 0-2, which stinks. The Bills continue to look good. Maybe you're looking at the top of the AFC right now. Let's go into some of these afternoon games. Oh, there's one more noon game, actually. It was the Seahawks beating the Steelers 31-17. P4 likes seeing that as Rodgers did not play well. Sam Darnold had 2 touchdowns, 295 yards. Kenneth Walker had 105 and 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers went 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 203 yards with a QBR of 31. So there's the Aaron Rodgers that we know and P4 loves, like old Jet.
I mean, yeah.
Old
I
Jet
want you
Rodgers.
to rescind your comment from earlier. Because it was never going to happen, and we had one game where you guys could fucking say shit. And hey, this is what Kyle was saying earlier. Now that we can sneak this in, we talked about the Patriots already. We've seen Aaron Rodgers, all this stuff. No, I've been a Jets fan my whole fucking life. Do you think the Patriots' success at one time ever was like, oh yeah, this makes the Jets look better? Not once. Even when the Jets were doing their winning streak, you know when the Jets' winning streak was and we beat the Patriots in the playoffs? That was a fucking year of the butt fumble. And that's what you guys remember, not fucking Sanchez winning AFC championships and stuff, right? So, no, it doesn't mean anything. I hate that. I don't want him to win. It's absolutely ridiculous watching this guy play. So I want PC to make an official announcement on this podcast rescinding his prediction or comment on Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh because it was never going to happen. And then him doing that to the Jets is just fucking more fuel to the fire, which makes me fucking sadder. It's absolutely horrific. I can't even believe it.
I will retract that statement. They did not look good.
Thank you. That's my first fucking win.
That was pretty bad.
Horse shit, man. This Jets team is really making me.
By Seattle. Seattle is also. Are they 2-0? No, they're 1-1.
No, they're 1-1. They lost
JSN
to the 49ers.
is probably.
Yeah, JSN is really.
Give
And
me
you
your
also
fantasy
got
league.
old Cooper Cup too. Cooper Cup had a good game too. Yeah,
Cup had a good game today, but I
90
think
yards
JSN's going to
and-
be the guy.
Yeah, for sure. JSN's the number one game there. But yeah, good for the Seahawks. Now we go to our afternoon games. The Ravens beat the brakes off the Browns. Nothing crazy there. Lamar had 4 touchdowns, 225 yards. I didn't catch hardly any of this game. I knew it was going to be kind of a blowout. Any thoughts on this team game, or just kind of?
I heard some people saying that the Ravens aren't as good as people think they are, and that's a foolish statement to make. The Ravens are going to be really good. I know that they had that heartbreaker against the Bills, but it's still Lamar Jackson, and it's still the Ravens. Their defense is going to be good. They're going to be in the playoffs. They probably will be in the AFC Championship game playing against the Bills. So don't think that this team is going to be bad. This Ravens team is going to literally beat the Chiefs by probably 20 points, if I have my math right. It'll be sad. It'll be glad for some people. But it's still Lamar Jackson. It's one of the best regular season quarterbacks we've ever seen in recent history. He has 2 undisputed MVP titles, and he has them for a reason. He's going to the MVP Hall of Fame for a reason. So, yeah, the Browns. Listen, the Browns are feisty. They have that feisty little attitude in them. Oh, look at we can do this and this, and then they die because they're the Browns. They don't have the experience, and they don't have the talent, both coaching and on the field, to get them to where they need to be. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's kind of a normal thing for those Cleveland Browns. You feel like, but yeah, the Ravens 1-1, Browns 0-2. But a team that everybody kind of thought was going to be kind of sneaky, that's playing really well, is the Indianapolis Colts, who did get a win, 29-28, over the Denver Broncos. Daniel Jones only had 1 touchdown, but had 316 yards. He did not have a pick, so not a terrible game for him. Jonathan Taylor, 165 yards on the ground, did not get the touchdown. That's okay. Bo Nix, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 206 yards. Barely lost at the very end. It was like a last second type thing, wasn't it? Yeah, they got a field goal to win the game, basically. So good on the Colts. They're 2-0. That'll be kind of interesting to see them in the.
The Colts are literally running off the ghost of Jim Irsay right now. That's it. That's it. Until the ghost of Jim Irsay says, "Hey, listen, I either gotta." Yeah, no, I can't make that joke. I can't make that joke here. I was gonna make a joke. I'm done. Ghost Jim Irsay.
They're number 1 team in the AFC North.
Because Kyle
right
knows
now,
once he
but-
makes fun of one dead guy, then someone can start coming after him about his dead guy, and then he'll get all upset about it. And that's as political as his podcast will get. But
for sure, yeah.
send a flower basket to Kyle's house
He's crying.
for his wife.
Oh my gosh! No, it's just
The other kind of poopy game that nobody really watched, even though the Cardinals are 2-0 now, was 27-22 Arizona win over the Panthers. Bryce Young had 328
It's so
yards.
over for Bryce Young, bro.
Yeah, I know. He had 3 touchdowns and 338 yards, but a pick, but did not look good in the game. Just didn't look good.
I like him too.
Hunter Renfrow had 2 touchdowns for that. That's good fantasy points if you got him. But Kyler Murray, I know he's 2-0 now. He still doesn't look like that's the thing. When Marvin Harrison's getting 2 receptions for 27 yards, you got to figure out to get that guy the football. He's just not doing anything for them. But I guess it's a good win for the Cardinals. The Cardinals have
recipes to whoever.
49ers. next week. That should be a pretty good game. All right, K-Stel. We can talk about them now. The other 0-2 team of the Dude Sports Podcast, which is not usually 0-2, hasn't been since 2014, is Kansas City Chiefs losing 20-17. I'll let you go on your rant before I kind of give my key points from the game. But what were your thoughts about the Chiefs, and is the Chiefs dynasty dead?
Well, before I go on my articulate, if we want to call it that, let me just give you a stat real quick that I found out. So Lane Johnson, who is the right tackle for the Eagles, Hall of Famer, good guy, did not allow a pressure on any of his 25 pass blocking snaps on Sunday. Every other Eagles offensive line allowed at least one pressure. Johnson matched up against George Karlaftis, who is making $93 million on 10 of those snaps per Next Gen Stats. So that's the first. That's actually the only like Next Gen scoopity doopity whatever you want to hear. Chiefs fans have their ways of trying to figure out what's going on with this team. Matt Nagy, Brett Veach, Andy Reid, Spags, players, this and that. It's just sad. Chris Jones saying you don't even have 100 yards of anything at the end of the game. That just tells me all I need to know. That this team is pathetic. They are pathetic. The locker room is lost. Andy Reid is a great coach. He will always be a great coach. He's pushing 70. It's hard for him to get these guys into shape. Spags did a good job today, I think. I think Spags had a good defensive game against Barkley and stuff like that. But every single touchdown, every single scored point, by the way, today, occurred on short field, meaning it happened 50 yards or in, by the way. Just letting you know that. So that just tells you what Andy Reid did today. Here's my other problem I have. And I know a lot of people are going to say Pat Mahomes is washed. Maybe they're going to complain about how we don't have our two best wide receivers, which is, of course, like something that we can talk about. Or Travis Kelce, just completely doing pretty well during the game until that one pass occurred, and then it just completely shifted the entire game, except for make people believe that Josh Simmons is pretty good at running because he's a fast tackle. Here's my problem, and this kind of just explained everything that I needed to know about what's going on in the offensive game plan with Andy Reid and Matt Nagy. The Chiefs do not have their top two wide receivers the entire game. And the Chiefs' depth of target was probably, from what I remember, being like maybe 2.3 yards. 2.3 yards of depth of target. When the Chiefs needed a long, aired-out touchdown to keep the game close, it occurred when the Eagles were playing prevent defense-ish, I guess. I wouldn't say prevent completely, but prevent defense-ish. And Patrick Mahomes completely missed on one wide-open touchdown to Thornton. And then 2 plays later, threw a complete dart, 50 or 60 yards or something like that, to Thornton. When the Eagles, who are one of the best defensive teams in the league, were playing to not have a long touchdown. And the Chiefs found a way to throw a long touchdown pass. So it's not the fact that the Chiefs can't throw deep passes. It's the fact that they don't want to until they need to, which explains And what that tells me is that every theory that I had about Matt Nagy and Andy Reid going into from last season to this season is completely true. They are conservative. We're gonna drive it long. We're gonna run the clock. We're not gonna. And the worst part is they do this and they don't have a good running back. They don't have a good running back. They don't have any running back that can explode or find holes. They do this just because of Patrick Mahomes. They say, Patrick Mahomes, you're going to dink and doink and dink and doink and dink and doink. And we're going to dink and doink all the way down until the red zone until we can't dink and doink anymore because there's not enough room for the safeties to drop back into. So my theory is correct. I'm right. Finally, for once in my life, I'm correct. Matt Nagy and Andy Reid are way too conservative, and they do not want to risk any sort of long pass, long throw, anything when they don't have Xavier Worthy. They don't want to. You want to know why? Because it's really not that consistent. If we throw a 5-yard dig route, then we get 5 yards. But in football, we all know this. Sometimes you have to take a risk to beat the defense. And at every single point Matt Nagy has shown us for almost 2 years now is that he is absolutely willing to drop a game plan that doesn't involve Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball the way he wants to. And that has killed Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes now has to go out and run over people to get first downs. That can't happen. That can't happen. Patrick Mahomes is not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen. He can't run every single time to get a first down. We guys, it's exposed. Matt Nagy's a clown. He's a clown unless he doesn't have Xavier Worthy, unless he doesn't have all of his guys to fill his zippity-zoodah like XYZ plan. It's not going to work. And we know this for a fact that Matt Nagy is writing up the game plan because Andy Reid can't anymore. He doesn't want to. He's too old. Andy Reid just calls the plays. He gets the plays that Matt Nagy gives him, and all those plays are just a bunch of dig routes coming back or flats. Oh, Travis Kelce, go! There's nothing aired out. There's nothing in tight coverage. I'm seeing guys who aren't even good at football throwing passes that are way better than Patrick Mahomes. It's getting ridiculous. The end of an era is coming right now if Matt Nagy is not fired from this team today. It is! Matt Nagy needs to be fired today. He needs to be gone. He needs to be gone from this team because his game plan is way too conservative, way too constructive, way too built into long drives and long this and that. It kills your defense. Your defense can't do it anymore. Spags cannot keep this team alive anymore like he has the past 2 years. It cannot happen. We need Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball deep. We need it to happen. Tyreek Thornton is on our team. Hollywood Brown is on our team. Xavier Worthy's coming back next game. That ball needs... Patrick Mahomes should have 500 yards in the air. He needs to. And if he does it, I don't know why Matt Nagy's not fired. It has to be done. It has to be done. It must be. I don't care who you put in there. Put in anyone you want to. Find somebody who at least knows any sort of risk to offensive play calling, to game planning. Oh, maybe we should throw it deep in the second quarter. Matt Nagy doesn't do that. He doesn't. It needs to be strict. It needs to be short gain yardage. But we can't do that. Why can't we do that? Because Andy Reid refuses to have a good running back. And we saw that in the draft. We picked how many players to be in the middle rounds that barely play? Too many. Devin Neal. DJ Giddens from K-State. You think that guy could be a good player for KU? Just run hard and find a hole? I told Nick Howard this long ago. or not long ago. Probably like the second, preseason game. This is the year the Chiefs dynasty dies. Not because they magically figured it out. No, it's because the incompetence of coaching, the complacency. It's complacency is what it is. And the reason I'm so upset is because Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback talent that we've seen in this generation, and he is being confined by these coaches. And it's very sad to see. I wouldn't be so upset if it was a bad quarterback doing well, but Patrick Mahomes is fantastic. And we see it every time he throws that long touchdown pass to Thornton in there. Oh, there we go. He can do it, but he can't do it in the second quarter. So, Matt Nagy, I hope you're fired. I'm being so dead serious right now. I think Matt Nagy is a worse offensive coordinator than Alex Zumwalt is a hitting coach for the Kansas City Royals.
Good insights there. A lot of rambling there, but that's.
But I'm right.
Accurate.
But I'm
No,
right.
It's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate.
But I'm right. Finally,
I'll agree.
for a reason, I'm right, and I don't want to be right, but it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if the dynasty's quite over yet. 0-2 start's pretty horrific. It does. You can use all the excuses you want with not having Xavier or Rasheed Rice, or you can say whatever, right? Or you can talk about the tush push if you really want to. Like, you can make all these excuses. The Chiefs deserve to lose that football game. They did not deserve to be in it at the end of the game like they were. Yeah, they need to throw the ball down the field a little bit more. The defense I thought played really well actually. Like compared to last week, they played pretty solid and they didn't really give up too much. We just had an unfortunate where Kelsey for a second week in a row has really kind of played for the other team. And that was a really bad drop. It's a really great throw in the end zone. Kelsey gets that. We get back up. We're winning that football game. Or at least, like, it's not going to be like we're, like, trying to, to a deep ball to Thornton in the fourth. They've got the Giants coming up. Hopefully the offense can figure it out because then they got Baltimore. This team could go 1-3 start off the year. And that would be pretty, the trajectory of this squad is not going up if they've got a 1-3 start. Get Rasheed back, get Xavier back. You are back to being a really good team, maybe competing for a playoff spot. I don't know. The way they've looked now, they don't look like a playoff team. They have played the Eagles and the Chargers, who are pretty decent, but we'll have to wait and see.
What's up with the tush push? You guys start.
I don't
Okay,
care.
I can't get mad at it.
I don't care. Sure. They false start every time. I don't care. The league will fix it. The officials the officials will come in and say it's way too hard to judge. It will. They will. They will. The officials will come in and say it's too hard to judge, and then they will ban it without the league's permission. That's what they've done that for many plays. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the Eagles' offense right now is garbage. It's garbage. I mean, A.J. Brown isn't even getting the targets he needs to get.
I don't understand. Like, I get it. You can't judge it. And that's a good point by K-Stell. You can't really judge. They can't see the guard jump early. But if the guard is able to jump early and hit the defensive tackle before the ball is even snapped, they just need, like, a yard to 6 inches, there's absolutely no way in hell you were stopping. Like, there's just not. And, like, I can be here and be mad, but, like, it's a part of the game, and, like, try and figure out a way to beat it. Like, you can't blame any of that loss on that. It's like watching, and I said this, it's like watching Shemaev win the UFC championship, or the title, where he just wrestled and stuff, right? You're just going to run the tush push on a 3rd and 1 and go twice and get it, because you're not going to get stopped twice. You may get stopped once because the refs are kind of tired of seeing the tush push, but you're not going to get it twice. And it's a part of the league until the referees do something about it and ban it, which I don't think
irony,
is fair.
And I would like to point out that I do appreciate the kind of humble stance you are taking, but I think it is important, and this is why I held my tongue in the chat today, is that, yeah, welcome to the club. I know you guys were like used to winning for a couple years, but yeah, this is how the NFL works. The teams that are good do shit that other teams can't stop.
Yeah.
That's how it fucking works. It's
Yeah.
all it
And that's
is.
why, like,
So
we were
I'm
talking
glad
in
that you
our.
guys are getting your little tears and all that kind of stuff, and it is funny to watch you guys explode. and
Well,
all that. Welcome to the club.
well, at the end of the day, it's not the fact that we're sad because we're losing. Like, we're not. I hope that Chiefs fans don't come up on here and say, "Oh, the only reason we're losing is because calls don't go our way." That would be such a travesty to Chiefs fans' like credibility. But yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, like a lot of teams lose because of bad calls, or not. They lose that game, but like teams will be upset because of bad calls at the end of the day.
I
and
can't be mad at something like.
Like we beat the Eagles when they had the tush push in the Super Bowl, so like who gives a shit? Like who really cares? They were doing the same crap when we beat them. So like
I mean, I have a thread right here that has about 8 texts in a row that is exclusively about how the refs are not calling that.
oh,
Yeah,
I
we're
can I
venting
can
out as any.
I can
any-
complain about refs,
fan
but I'm
would
not
be.
I'm not gonna sit here and say the reason that the Chiefs are a garbage team is
Right.
because the refs are screwing
push,
them.
push.
I hope that if I am, then please call me out, and I'll take my responsibility. No, don't do that face, P4. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to see you do it. But listen,
Welcome to the club. I
My-
mean, this is
my-
the same thing I've been saying on this podcast for a year, if not longer.
yeah,
for
but
you guys
the
for
pro-
2+
but
years.
you but hold on, but you made it pretty clear that the Chiefs were not they were not going out and getting Tom Brady calls. They were doing the unwritten rule, like Patrick
Well, that's
Mahomes.
exactly what that's what the fucking Eagles are doing right now, right? They're playing in that like okay,
I guess
it is
they
a rule,
are.
but we're
I
They're
guess,
playing
but the
in the grid.
but the
Whatever.
but
If it's
they're
not
breaking
good,
they're
then
breaking
it's-
they're breaking the written rule. But that doesn't mean they're winning everything. Like the
Well,
Chiefs
to be
break.
completely honest, if I'm looking at Mahomes and right, it's the spirit of the rule or whatever, and this is what always go back to with the Dick Lane stuff, where it goes, well, he wasn't doing pass interference because pass interference wasn't a fucking thing. Now pass interference is a thing, and now we can all become pass interference experts. If we didn't have that blue line, would you fucking guys know? If they didn't have the overhead shot, would you guys know if he was lined up in the neutral zone from that fucking 3/4 end zone camera?
Well, with the
If you were in the stadium?
in the stadium, of
Like
course,
exactly,
nothing.
right? Like from what perspective are we looking at it? Does it exist? Does it not exist?
Well,
Is it a part of
but
it's a lineup, right? I
but-
mean, I just coached some high school football, and the kid's not lined up on the line, and he's supposed to.
But-
Are they going to call flag for illegal procedure every time? Now, the reason we're mad at it, the reason why it's becoming a coaching point, the reason why pass interference became a thing, is because it cost someone a win. It did a thing. Oh, now someone's upset about it. Oh, they're doing too good, so now we got to do it. There's got to be a thing. where
I
it's like,
hope-
we lost, and I'm not saying that you guys are saying that.
I
we lost
hope
because
that
of
I-
this, but the league is coming together and saying we're losing to the Eagles because they're so good at this. Now let's nitpick every little thing about it. I mean, that's what they did with the Chiefs a couple years ago. It's what they're doing with the Eagles now. This is what winning is for winning teams. Now, when the Jets start fucking pulling some shit out of their ass, we're like, whoa, who could have known that you could be so shitty that it actually made you win, or whatever the Jets would come up with. But if it works for them, then that's what's working. We
Well-
can't. What are we going to be referees next week?
Well, I mean, hopefully, like the Eagles have a chance to, get two different, league rules changed because of them, because they haven't had one. The Chiefs have had two. They've had the overtime rules changed, and they've had the ball marker changed. So I guess the Chiefs did something. They're the Patriots now. They've done what the Patriots have. They've had the league change rules now because of. Now, the Patriots were different because the Patriots got rules changed in their favor, and I
And
guess
you
some.
swap out that Royals flag for a Phillies flag, and you put this
Yeah,
in
because
12 months after they banned the tush push.
Now the
It's
reason
same
they
conversation.
the reason
That's
they
how the league grows.
the reason and but when you were gone, I told PC the reason they should ban the touch push is because officials, they don't know how to call it. They can't see a thing in there. Like, of course, when you
Whose
put the
problem
camera.
is that Nick Sirianni's problem? Is that Jalen Hurts' problem? Whose problem is it? Chris Jones's problem? Like whose? Is it Roger
No,
Goodell's problem?
it's
Is it
the
the referee?
yes, it
Like,
is
who
Roger.
are we
It is
playing?
Roger Goodell's problem because
Okay, so it's on Goodell.
he runs the refs, and the NFL is the most looked at, sought after league in other than soccer, and when his officials cannot clearly decipher or judge on a play, they're gonna. You know what the officials are gonna do? They're gonna go after the season's over. They're gonna go up to Roger Goodell and say, "Hey, listen, dude, we cannot judge this play because there's so much horse crap going on, and there's gonna be no owner vote. There's gonna be nothing. Roger Goodell's gonna say, listen, we can't do it because the officials can't judge it." And you know what they're going to do? They're going to go to either this Chiefs game and another game probably against whatever the Eagles' better opponent plays, and they're going to go, look, they false start every time, and they lure over the ball. And then, we're going to go back to,
It's not a false start. It's an offsides. It's an offensive offside.
Yeah,
It was a
offsides.
penalty that was called today. In the Jets-Bills game, there was a wide receiver that lined up in the neutral zone, and they called it. And I wasn't gonna bring that 'cause that helps
no.
with
The neutral zone thing is the offsides. What most Chiefs fans were talking about was the false start that happened when the guards took off and hit the other player.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because
Well,
during one of those plays, the Chiefs defensive player literally punted the ball to Jalen Hurts before the center could even snap it, which is really funny. But I
It's
don't.
called the neutral zone. No one's supposed to be in the neutral zone. And the CFL did their own things to change this. Like, if we're looking at rule changes and that kind of stuff, the CFL has a 2-yard neutral zone that all the defensive players have to line up behind where the offensive players. And then they also have wide receivers going in motion forward, 10-plus yards, getting a 10-yard head start before they get into their route. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff you could do with football, Aussie rules football, with all that kind of stuff. But as far as how the NFL is written and how the NFL is refereed and all this stuff, Philly's killing it right now. And it is fun to watch the last team that it happened to, right? Like how Patriots fans were all mad at what the Chiefs were doing. And since Brady left, they weren't really able. But you guys kind of still have Mahomes. You still want to be in it, kind of stuff.
But we want to be in it in the right way. We don't want to run the ball.
You guys never did it right, and
We did it. No.
hypocrisy I try to point out right here.
Did we do it right in 2019? In 2019, we do it right. We did it right in 2019. We did it right in 2019. That's exactly what we did. What did we do wrong in 2019?
Pulling horse shit in the fucking
Whoa,
Tennessee
we were
game
doing
where he's
a fake slide,
all that
and then he
kind of
ran for
horse
one of the
shit.
best running. Yeah, whatever. This horse crap about he
Because
fakes.
I'm trying to tackle the fucking guy.
That's not. But that's not a rule. It's not a. It's not a. It's.
So they're fucking not calling the fucking tush push. So then the next time when they cancel it and they ban it, and the next team's good at their thing, then all the Eagles fans are going to become the Chiefs fans, and the Chiefs fans, whatever. And us Jets fans, we're cool. We're at the losers table. We're hanging out. We don't have any problems.
I hope
And
the
you guys
Jets.
are getting
I
into all this
hope.
stuff.
I
and
hope
it's
the
the same.
Jets.
Hey,
I hope
I'm
the
just
Jets win
watching.
a Super
Pattern
Bowl.
recognition.
I hope
don't
they
know.
do. I pray the Jets win a Super Bowl one day, so that P4 can just come over to the dark side and just join us.
Oh, dude,
And
you
join
guys,
us.
and that's the thing.
Join us, bro. And
And
join
it
us.
may be like a little
in-
bit of a
in this
Tim Dillon thing or whatever.
ideal
Hey,
of.
I will
of-
be the most unsufferable.
I hope you
fan.
are. I hope
Oh
you.
my gosh!
I hope you're
if my
so.
teams were fucking good,
I-
I think that that's what God did. Is he was like this kid can't have good teams around because his ego.
His ego's too big. Maybe God's telling you to shove it down a little bit. Maybe He's telling you to quiet it down. How do we get to the tush push? We got ourselves to
Well,
killing
we're
ourselves.
talking
apparently.
so it's
This was the.
I was talking
waiting on
about
for this
Matt. I was
since
talking about
2:30
Matt. I was
PM
talking about
Pacific
Matt
time.
Nagy playing some horse crap dig routes.
Yeah,
all
it's the same
time.
fucking story for the last 18 weeks, dude. We get it. Now I saw you guys lose again to the tush push, and now you guys are bullshitting about it.
No,
Fucking
no,
those
no, no, no,
Packers
no,
fans-
no, 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 no,
Hey,
no.
on fucking Patrick Mahomes.
No, no, no. You know what I said? I made it very clear. That if Chiefs fans blame this game on the tush push, they should be.
That's what you said in this
This
podcast
is-
right
I
there.
was-
Please text earlier or not.
I was complaining.
Apparently, we can line up in the neutral zone every time, shove it up my ass play.
Okay, that's just that. First of all, that's just in the game.
That's a false start every time. What are we even doing here?
What did I say
Russ
next?
probably can't see it because they're lined up past the neutral zone. That's all
Yeah, I
from
was
you.
Yeah, but did I say
PC
any?
had some, yeah. PC was like, okay, what the fuck?
Well, it
I-
happened a few times. Then I started noticing it. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like you can't stop the play anyway.
But that's the thing. That
like,
was
now
now
they
it
give
wasn't
you
alive
more.
back then. But this is why I bring up the Dick Lane thing. Is like I could imagine like the fucking Lions won like 10 NFL championships in a row, and then they were like, hey, this motherfucker's like beating the shit out of these wide receivers. They don't even have a chance. And then people start noticing, and then they go, hey, you can't beat the shit out of the wide. And now pass interference is a thing. And now everyone's a pass interference. Like my fucking great grandpa didn't even know pass interference was a thing because it wasn't a fucking thing. So now we didn't know the tush, but we didn't know neutral zone was a problem. Apparently now it's the biggest problem facing teens in Kansas City today is fucking neutral zone.
Well, not having wide receivers.
Well,
I mean,
you guys
we
keep
like
on
to
taking
find
them
something
out.
else. We want to try and figure something else to complain about other than the team. You know, we got to try and find.
Check my
everybody else-
text.
Everybody else does in the league. When they find something else other than blaming their own team to blame something else, we got to join that wagon. That's the only thing. So, oh, we had one more game today. Was this Sunday night football game? The Falcons.
This show is turning to shit. Where the fuck is Howard?
This kid
Hey, we
is-
got Richard here. We want to see Richard, everybody. Richard, get on up here.
Richard. I don't know if we want to figure out what Richard's doing. We really have to figure out what Richard's up to. I don't really know about that. We had one more game.
I can't really see you.
Oh, there he is.
is.
Good old Richard. We got one more game we had to talk about. It was the Atlanta Falcons beating up on the. I'm blanking. Why? I hate it. I blank. I blank. I blank. I blank. I blank. I blank. Oh my god. The Vikings. My goodness. 22-6. McCarthy looked like a rookie quarterback with 2 interceptions, 158 yards. Bijan had 143 yards on the ground. This was a field goal fest.
I know.
Do-
And no one even picked up fucking, what's the kid's name? Parker Romo, because he was just signed off the street. I had fucking, what's his shit?
Coup.
I had Koo, and then I picked up like some other kicker because I didn't think that like, oh, we're gonna sit Koo and then we're just gonna kick all the fucking field goals in the world.
Yeah, there was a lot of field goals in this game. It was very.
Adios, Richard. That's cool. That saved me yesterday at the game.
Yeah, but good win for the Falcons. They're 1-1. Vikings still got a few things to work on. They're both kind of the intermediate team, still trying to figure some stuff out. Penix got the revenge for losing the national championship. But we have 2 interesting games coming up on Monday Night Football. The Bucks are playing the Texans, and then the Chargers are playing the Raiders. So that'll be wrapping up our football here for this current week. Let me re-sign back into my Google Doc. Like I said again, CBB Corner 3 is not coming back until October. I will be doing my top
Thank
25.
God.
I've already done top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but from 25 up, we'll have some of that going. We are getting closer and closer to postseason for the MLB. Case Stelt, you want to talk, since you said you weren't going to talk about the Royals, so you can't talk about the Royals, but you could talk about anybody else. So might as well go and talk about the teams that are actually going to make the playoffs.
Well, I can't not speak the Royals' name into existence. I simply was trying to reiterate. Whatever. I won't talk about what happened to the Royals except for like maybe 5 seconds. How about this one? This is very interesting. Did anyone think that the lowest win total for the American League wild card 3rd place finish or whatever would be 4 games higher than the NL wild card? Raise your hand if you believe that was going to happen. Nope, nobody will. And we will get to P4's thoughts there, because that's another reason why P4 is going through a little bit of dumps right now, because some unbelievable, disgusting stuff is happening in that situation. Toronto is your AL leader at 87 wins and 62 losses. Detroit, 85 and 65. They're doing pretty well. And Seattle has overtaken the Houston Astros because they paid those Etsy witches. And if you want to look up Etsy Wishes, just look up Etsy Witches
Oh, Jesus.
at google.com. The New York Yankees have solidified themselves probably in the AL wildcard race as well, so as the Boston Red Sox. And Houston is right there at 81 wins. Texas has been winning multiple games as well. They are 79 and 71, right below the Houston Astros with 2 games. Cleveland is 2.5 games out from the wild card. And the Kansas City Royals, who were 2 games out of the wild card when it was Sunday of this week, have now fallen 6 games below the wild card standings at 75 and 75, a dead even. Tampa Bay is 73 and 76. Athletics 70-80. Baltimore, LA, Minnesota, and the Chicago White Sox are a bunch of goobs. Your Milwaukee Brewers have clinched the playoffs. So have your Philadelphia Phillies have also clinched the playoffs. Milwaukee 91 and 59. Whoa, look at that. Philadelphia's 89 and 61. They've done pretty well. The Dodgers are 84 and 65. They lead the West by about 2 games, if I'm looking at it correctly. Let me make sure I'm right. 2.5 games is where they lead in the West standings. Chicago is 85 and 64. They are up top of the NL wild card. San Diego is right behind the Dodgers in that AL West, but they do have the second wild card spot. And the Mets, who were on a 8-game losing streak, won
The worst part
today.
about the Mets is that they're going to be just good enough to squeak the fuck in.
Where the Mets won, did they lose 8 games in a row? Is that right?
correct.
They lost 8 games in a row, but they won today, and now they're 1.5 out from the San Francisco Giants, who were apparently out of the playoffs long ago, but they have crawled their way back. So now the Mets are.
They still play like shit. The Mets have fucking given it up.
So the Mets are trying to stay home, and they are guarding a 1.5 game lead from the Giants, a 2-game lead from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and a 2.5 game lead from the Cincinnati Reds. St. Louis is 73 and 77. Miami is 70 and 80. Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Washington all share 60-ish wins, and Colorado is in the dumps at 41 and 109. Here's my question to the group. I wish Nick Howard was here. Kansas City has 75 wins. The Mets have 77 wins. And the St. Louis Cardinals have 73 wins. Let me think about how to phrase this question. What is the probability of the Mets, Royals, and Cardinals all sharing a 2-game spread against each other? Meaning, like, one team has 81 wins and the other team has 83 wins. What is the probability of that happening? Because it's about to happen. It's about to be 2 teams that thought they were going to be in the playoffs not making the playoffs, and 1 team that should make the playoffs about to fall out. It's getting pretty crazy. See, if you want to talk about the Royals, you can go ahead and talk about the Royals. I will not. I'll just say this one thing about the Royals. It sucks. Sucks to suck. Play hard, work for the future. That's all I'll say. Go ahead, PC.
It's just, I mean, like, and I'm a known baseball kind of hater. I'm giving it a chance now, so I'm not as big anymore. It is really hard to watch 140 games and you be in it for the entire time, and then in the most important month, if not second most important month, other than the playoffs, your team just decides to stop hitting the baseball again after they started hitting it. And now they're completely out of it. I mean, unless they somehow sweep the not the Yankees, the Phillies, the Mariners come into town. Unless they're gonna go undefeated the rest of the way, like they're out, and it's not a problem of anything else. It's just disappointing, and that P4 said it already. We're kind of Stelting and I are spoiled fans for anything. We've had the Chiefs do really well. We've seen the Royals win a championship. K-Stel and I are both Kansas guys. We've seen them win a national championship. Our teams have been successful, and when they're not successful, it's like how everybody else feels when they're watching their team. So I can't complain too much. It is a major disappointment after all the hype coming off for last year, going all the way to the ALCS. But it's just not working this year, and they need to figure out another bat. Maybe these guys next year can get another year older. Maybe get a new hitting coach. I don't know. It is what it is. The season's over, unless they go undefeated and there's one.
I'll just respond to this really quickly. Cole Reagans was out for 3 months. Chris Bubich was shelved in July, and Seth Lugo was on the IL twice, and that's about it. And your hitting was bottom 5, and you're 500. So at the end of the day, if you want to congratulate yourself for being a 500 team, for having a bottom 5 offense, and also all of your star pitchers hit the IL for a pretty significant time, sure. But at the end of the day, PC said it correctly. Gotta hit better. Can't trust MJ Melendez, Hunter Renfroe to do all the work. So yeah, hopefully the playoffs are good this year. I'll be watching. Hopefully the Mets make it. If the Mets do make it, I will be cheering for the Mets, just because it's a brothers team, and I don't really care about any other team in there. So I will be rooting for the Mets to do as good as they possibly can do if they do make the playoffs. So, and as a segue into that, let's talk about the Mets. P4, what are your thoughts?
Nolan McLean's the best pitcher in baseball. Shoot everyone who's not Soto or Nolan McLean to the moon. Soto, worth every penny. I think he's had a 40-30 season officially now. Absolutely insane. He deserves the NL MVP, even though we're probably going to be the only show that talks about that. He's absolutely the NL MVP. He's pulled this team out of the dumps. If you look at how the rest of the team is played, regardless of the payroll, it's been absolutely horrific. You've got a kid like Francisco Alvarez, who's not even 22 years old yet. I think he just turned 21 or something. And he's the team's leader. And he can't even hit for shit. I mean, he scored the only run through the first 7 innings today. And, he just going out there with a hurt hand, and he's been sent down to AAA earlier in the season. And that's the vocal leader. Francisco Lindor, as much as I love him and I appreciate what he's done for the city of Queens, I'm not quite sure if this team is what we thought it was. And there's the meme going around in Mets Twitter that 06, 15, and 25, or 20, what was it? 04, 15, and 26? 14 and 26, but it's every 9 years we get the good playoff run. So I guess we got to wait another 9 years. It's disheartening. The pitching staff is a mess. We've got a lot of money where bad pitching is coming from, and not a lot of money from where the only good pitching is coming from. So it's a little ass backwards, but Nolan McLean is the best pitcher in baseball. So let's go Mets. Brett Beatty mentioned.
Yeah, hopefully the Mets can pull it out. Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention Salvador Perez has officially solidified himself as a Hall of Fame first ballot guy with 300 home runs and 1,000 hits as a catcher. or RBIs, not 1,000 hits, 1,000 RBIs as a catcher. So congratulations to Salvador Perez for doing that in this season, which is a good role for the Kansas City Royals because that will be their second Hall of Famer. That's a primary Royal. So good for them. Howard isn't here to talk about the Cards, which don't know if there's much to talk about the Cards other than AAA stuff. So let's just go on to mixed martial arts and boxing.
Yep, UFC Noche happened in San Antonio, Tejas this weekend, and we also had Canelo versus Crawford live on Netflix, one of the TKO events, a part of, I don't know if it was technically Riyadh season, but Turkey definitely had a thing to do with it, His Highness. And then Dana was in Vegas, not even at the UFC event, so surprise, surprise there. Can we get up the Mr. Beast, Jason Statham? If you could just work on the getting up the card for the UFC Noche, I'll find this picture.
Turkey Al Sheikh alongside.
Mr. Beast, Jason Statham, Turkey Al Sheikh, and Dana White. I mean, what a crew is that? Yeah, that's enough of that. So let's get into this card. It was a good card overall. I wasn't able to catch all of it. I was a little busy on Saturday, but what I did see, I was the main event was cool.
It was okay. Yeah, the main event was like kind of the only. I mean, the co-main you could talk about a little bit. That was a pretty nice little win there. But yeah, it was kind of.
So starting on the bottom, we have the Ultimate Fighter Championship of I still can't pronounce this guy's name. Daniil Bonacheco versus Rodrigo Senzinado. TKO in the first round. This was pretty cool. The Ultimate Fighter has maybe lost a little bit of its sizzle after the Contender Series. It's kind of taken off recently. But it's still a big show, and it's important to watch. So that's cool that they got that. It was the favorite, and Daniil who got the win. He'll join the UFC ranks, and we'll see where he goes from that. Now, Alice Pereira took on Montserrat Rendon, a Mexican fighter, in a prelim bantamweight bout. This was kind of the start of the card. And Alice Pereira is not related to Alex Pereira. I'm like 90% sure of that. The meme's kind of been going around. I think there was a story at some point that they were related, but slight favorite for Alice. She was undefeated coming into this. She was really good on the regional scene, had a Contender Series fight, won that. Got her chance in the UFC. She's 19 years old. She was the youngest UFC fighter at her signing and the youngest UFC fighter on the roster. It was kind of tough to watch her fight because she was able to get the best of Rendon, but she wasn't taking advantage of the opportunities. I know that's how people get slept and all that kind of stuff, but it was kind of a cautious look. And maybe nerves. I could only imagine what it's like making your UFC debut at 19 years old. I mean, when I was 19 years old, I was a fucking mess, so who knows? I still am. And
I was about to be like, that's
yeah.
changed a lot.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going to go on with Alice in the future. She did look very good. She had some good combos. She had good wrestling. So I'm excited to see what she does in the future. Moving on up the card, we got Aiden Correa. He won against Alessandro Costa. Alessandro Costa, I mean, looked good for a couple rounds, but that uppercut and the TKO by Aiden Correa pretty cool Mexican-American fighter. He was a big underdog coming into this fight, so it was cool that he got the win. He was the younger fighter. 5'8" versus 5'4", 125. I mean, these boys just fucking fly around, huh? 125 flyweight, one of my favorite divisions in the UFC. Just incredible fights almost every week coming out of this division. But Alden Correa, congratulations. Zach Reese, Cedric Dumas. What the heck? Why is this guy still on the roster?
Yeah, it's
Jesus
crazy.
Aguilar versus Luis Gurriel. Jesus Aguilar, I mean, the Mexicans got a couple good fights this card. Another flyweight bout. This was a unanimous decision. I think this was the first fight to go to a decision. We got another. UFC's on a good streak right now of going with. Is on a good streak right now with finishes. Uh-oh. What the heck is this, huh? Look who's here. And
oh no.
Jesus Aguilar gets the win. He moves up to 12-3. Luis Gurriel, he moves down to 10-2. He's 0-2 in the UFC after his Contender Series bout win, and he won his contract. He was kind of an LFA guy. He was a Fury guy before that, so it is a little interesting that he's done so bad in the UFC, especially against the fighters that he's fought. I mean, O'Day Osborne and Jesus Aguilar, like, that's kind of the road that you take if you're an undefeated, what was he, 10-0 fighter. And now he's down to 10-2. But we'll see what happens. This Jesus Aguilar kid's pretty fun to watch. So another 125 bout. Maybe we match him up with Alden Correa or something since they're on the same schedule. Tatiana Suarez gets the win over Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos may be done. She's 38 years old now. Tatiana Suarez, 34. Tatiana was the heavy favorite going into this fight, but Amanda Lemos, who I wasn't able to make any bets on this fight, but I was thinking about her because she has had some really good wins in the women's divisions. Her losses recently, Weili Zhang, Virna Jandiroba, who's now fighting for Weili Zhang's title. Just a good fighter overall, Amanda Lemos. I don't know if she's 9-5 in the UFC. I'm not sure if she's retired yet. I don't know if she's a Hall of Famer yet, but she has been one of those kind of mainstays in the women's division for the last decade or so. Joaquim Silva took on the Peruvian Claudio Puleses. Joaquim Silva, good win by him here. It was a split decision. This one, I wasn't able to see all of it. I did see kind of the stats at the end. Can you click on that thing and show us what the... Because it was a split decision. I mean, you can kind of see it going either way. You have the takedowns in there. I mean... What are you going to do with the judges, man? We've gotten to the point where you got to finish the fight or you got to show dominance or else you can't leave it up to the judges. So, sorry for Claudio Puleses. He's 29 years old, 12-5. It was just about an even fight. He was a slight edge, Claudio was. So we'll see what happens with both these guys next. 155's a banger division, so I don't know if either of these guys are going to work their way into the contenders of that, but good fight overall there. Just great fights on this card, even though that was a distance fight. That was a good fight. Moving on up, we've got Dusko Totrovic, who got the rear naked choke over Jose Medina. Yeah, I mean, round one, he kind of took him down, and he kind of looks crazy, like the bald, Croatian guy, and yeah, I mean, what are you going to do there? So, congratulations to Dusko Todorovic. Santiago Luna over Quang Lee. This was just an absolute incredible shot landed by him. I believe he won a performance of the night on this. He did. Yeah, I mean, Santiago Luna, who's now 7-0. A little surprised he was this far up. I mean, kind of kicking off the main card. But congratulations to him. I'm excited to see what they do with him. 135 has had a lot of options. I mean, we got to find the guy to beat Marab. And this kid's 7-0 with 7 finishes. He's got 2 subs in the first round, 2 KOs in the first round. I mean, this kid might be up
Be pretty
next.
good,
I'm
yeah.
pretty
Uh-huh.
excited to see him and what he does next. Yeah, I mean, tough enough. Just gets signed to the UFC and just shows out. Really excited to see what he's going to do. Super awesome that he gets a win. I was a little afraid coming into this fight because Quang Lee, 9-2 coming into this, it was nothing to slouch at. So, moving on up, we got Alexander Hernandez. He beat Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira, who, despite his 19-7 record, is a fucking brick shithouse. I mean, he is a tank, man. 10-7 in the UFC, coming off back-to-back losses. Grant Dawson and now Alexander Hernandez. He was winning streak before that, beating Rebecca and Michael Johnson. He struggled in the UFC, but this is no easy out. And Alexander Hernandez showed up doing his little Mexican-American thing on UFC Noche. Moves on up to 10-7 in the UFC. Beat Chase Hooper in his 155 debut in his last fight. Now beats Diego Ferreira. Like we said earlier, 155 is a tough weight class. Not quite sure what he's going to do. What they're going to do with matchmaking, 18-8 record. I mean, what are you going to do? But I'm excited to see what Alexander Hernandez does. Probably an Apex main card. Kevin Gastelum got the win. I wasn't able to see this fight,
It's
but
pretty
I know he
crazy
missed
that
weight.
He has a win in 2025.
20-10. Like I feel like he's fought more than 30 times. Yeah, 14-10 in the UFC with a no contest. Lost to Joe Pfeiffer, beat Daniel Rodriguez, lost to Sean Brady, beat Chris Curtis. I mean, Kevin Gastelum's just one of the weirdest UFC stories. It kind of reminds me like a Kevin Lee or something almost, where like you don't know what the hell is going to go on. And right when you bet on him, that's when he does bad. And right when you know he's done, that's when he does good. I mean, I guess he got the win. I mean, it didn't this feel like one of those times where like, okay, you missed weight, now you're going to get cut kind of situation,
Yeah.
especially since that's happened a lot recently.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. Congratulations to him. Wide body Kevin Gastelum. He beat Israel Adesanya. So he's still kicking. I mean, how tall is he? What's he listed at?
The main man from way out west does not know history. Good enough.
5'9".
I thought he was like 5'8" or something, but yeah,
Yeah, it says him listed at 5'9",
Big
but at
boy.
185 is crazy.
or middleweight.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely beat Israel Adesanya. Just because you follow the fake news history that Dana spoon feeds you every week.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna live my
Ram
truth,
commercials.
Nick Howard.
Okay. With your bias, I'll note it. I'll note it.
Yes, Ram commercials. Rafa Garcia got the win over Jared Gordon. 18-4 now for Rafa Garcia. This guy, I wish he would get some more. And I know he has a loss to Grant Dawson and Jakar Close, but I mean, he's beat Clay Guida. He's now beat Jared Gordon. I think this guy should have his name in some more conversations. I mean, he was the feature fight in a main event for UFC Noche, and I get that he's a Mexican fighter and all that. But this guy's pretty good. I want to see his name in some more things. I mean, those elbows are just absolutely brutal. I'm so glad that we're using elbows and knees more. This card kind of infatuated that. Maybe it is the Mexican fighting spirit or whatever the Modelo commercial says. But I love elbows and knees. Like, come on, guys. These are what really gets us stuff. Co-main event of the evening, we have David Martinez beating Rob Font. Rob Font, and this was brought up during the broadcast, in his UFC debut, beat George Roop. George Roop, who isn't a big name, he was 5-8 in the UFC, was a WEC champion or UFC top contender. I mean, he fought a whole bunch of guys, but there was kind of this whole ordeal going on where Rob Font was kind of the PC, you can say it.
That would be a gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper of the bantamweight division, and David Martinez, who was unranked, and Rob Font or Fabrant has kind of held that key to the top of the bantamweight division. And David Martinez just put it on him. Click on the stats on this one.
I mean,
I haven't even
the
seen these
third
myself,
round,
but
it was the third round that really got him the win. It was Rob Font.
100%.
I mean, but the last 25 seconds where he goes get going and he knocks him down in the last 10.
Well, he won the first. Rob kind of came back in the second. And you know what? Rob probably maybe even would have run the third if it wasn't for those last 20 seconds where David was really down in the dumps. But that's what you got to do. That's the spirit of the fighter. You got to say, no, like, this is it. This is the last seconds. Like, we can't just do this out. Like, we got to go. And the judges reward that. So congratulations to him. I do believe he won this fight. I do think it was pretty close of a fight, but David Martinez, this is pretty exciting. A 13-1 fighter in the 135 division, another Mexican coming on up in the ranks. How many UFC fights does he have? So he's 2-0 in the UFC after his Contender Series fight. Beating Sammy and Oliveira, Xavier Franklin in the Contender Series, former champ in combat. I mean, I'm excited to see what David Martinez does. I mean, a co-main event at UFC Noche, and he does that to Rob Font.
Yeah.
Just absolutely insane. Now, moving on to the main event. Who knows what's going to happen with the 45 division, especially after you see how big the gap is, really, between Lopez and Silva, and then Lopez and Volk. But the Fighting Nerds, we can talk about them after we kind of cover this fight, but Diego Lopez is really good, guys.
Yeah.
He's the Brazilian Mexican, maybe the scariest combination you can make. I mean, if he trains at Dagestan for 2-3 years, I don't think he's. But you know what? He's got this wrestling down. He wrestled Gene Silva in the first round, and then he set up the spinning elbow just absolutely perfectly in the second round.
Yeah. Yeah, he smoked him pretty good.
Sad to see the Fighting Nerds kind of lose their ordeal, but I'll throw this around to the dudes because this was the main event. What do we got for this one?
Howard, I mean, I watched it. I mean, we're talking about the Fighting Nerds, and they're, we're big hype on the Fighting Nerds. It's just kind of like that they've met their plateau at the moment, but their hype is still there. They're still. I mean, Prates came back after his loss and got a huge knockout. And he's looking to get into that another number one contender type fight here coming up as well. Maybe I'll do another one before that. But I mean, I think they're going to bounce back. I mean, climbing up the ranks so fast that they did, and then I mean, they're still all going to be really highly ranked. They need another one or two fights to win to maybe get a title shot. But I don't think the Fighting Nerds hype is dead. I just think that they need to work on their grappling as much as they do their striking.
Yeah, I mean, the Fighting Nerds I was a big fan of just out the gate. Everyone's Contender Series performance. I went back on some old stuff, and they just looked all baller. But I feel, I definitely don't think there's any dead path for the Fighting Nerds. I do think that Kyle Borjallo was probably the one guy where I was like, his floor is pretty good, but I think that is as far as you get as a ceiling. He's got a great chin, but I just think that Imamov was way more better than his striking ability and on the feet. I think he killed Borjallo. So, I mean, I still think Borjallo can get good fights in the middleweight division, but I think that he definitely showed that there's not a lot that he's great at. He's good at a lot of things, but not great at anything. Silva, I feel like, is one of those guys that's just, he's always a threat to win. He's just kind of one of those crazy guys that, I mean, he was putting the hands on Lopez in that second round. The hands. And Lopez was just blocking with his face, but he was staying in the fight. And then he ended up just kind of taking it and trying to get a good angle, and then ended up going with a perfect elbow. So I think Silva didn't have a bad fight this fight. I think that Lopez did put a good beating on him, but I thought it was pretty good overall. I mean, just the finish was crazy. But I think Silva will at least have his name around the top for a while. Prates, I think he bounced back pretty good. The loss even was not a bad loss. I think he just wasn't really ready for Machado just yet, kind of building his skill set, I guess. And I think he did really good with Neal, just kind of posture-wise, setting angles, and obviously getting a crazy backspin elbow, Fighting Nerd style way. And then Rufy, I think. yeah, I'm just gonna finish this up quick. But Rufy is also kind of just learning the ropes, and I think he'll do good in the future. He's just got to learn how to wrestle. I mean, he just got dominated by Saint Denis on the ground. So that's kind of, I think, going on yours. I think Rufy could really learn from some wrestling for sure, instead of that lucky backspinning heel kick on King Green and other good stuff. He's a good fighter. He's just got a lot to learn. But yeah, I think the Fighting Nerds is good to go. Lopez is obviously just, I think a rematch against Volk would not be the worst thing ever. I'd like that obviously better than a Yair matchup against Volk. But I think even Yair against him would be fun. But Lopez has shown he's at the top of this division for sure over Silva. And the Nerds got a long way to go. But I think, yeah, like you said, no matter what, it's definitely a tough look for the gym at the moment.
Yeah, that kind of does it for UFC. Noche, it was a good card.
What?
Huh?
What?
Oh,
I watched the
Jesus Christ.
fucking fight. I watched
Go
it.
ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is that Silva shouldn't have shaved his head. If he had that hair, it probably would have saved him. Silva's a good fighter. At the end of the day, he is. But Lopez is just that guy. Can I ask a question? Because this is not... I'm not, like, in that depth. Is Lopez... Is he an adopted Mexican at this point? Okay. So that I assume that me and Nick Aragon, distant cousin to the Dudes in Sports family, we were kind of wondering what was going on there in San Antonio. But it looked like he was kind of he adopted that Mexican family, even though he was born in Brazil, came from Brazil. He's fighting out of Brazil? Is that true?
No, out of Mexico.
Okay, so he's fighting out of Mexico, but he's from Brazil. Okay. Yeah, Lopez is just that guy. He has the chin. He has the length. He has the grit. That spinning elbow was incredible. At the end of the day, if Lopez kept that hair on, maybe it would have saved him. I know it did. Like, he did get knocked down, but I still think that fight probably could have gone on. Not saying that the stoppage was inappropriate or anything like that, but
I could have even seen a stoppage in the first round.
I don't know.
Silva
about
was
that.
smiling. Silva was smiling
Yeah,
the
I
first
don't-
round.
I-
Sure,
I don't
but
think
I
you
mean,
could stop
yeah,
in a
Taliesin Texera too, when he was using
Like,
the cage to climb up. Like, it's tough, right? And obviously, this is a main event. This is San Antonio. This is UFC Noche and all that kind of stuff. If that was an early prelim fight,
I don't think I would debate against that, though. I obviously care for fighter safety, but I think at the same time that Silva was in no danger of going completely just
but it was that
he
close.
was completely
Was it
responsive.
quite a 10-8 round? I mean, Silva didn't get anything going in the first.
Yeah, he had a little something in the end and everything when he got back up and was starting to land
Dude,
some kicks,
Lopez's
and then he
chin
kind
was
of carried on.
incredible.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, he did a finishing.
When was the
he did
last
his
time you
finishing
saw? When was the
combo.
last time you saw a main event fight like that where a guy took that many blows to the chin and won that fight?
Oh, won it. Good question.
Like, that's a real because Lopez was taking some blows, and for me, because I don't watch much UFC, I think it was a Sugar Sean fight where Sugar Sean was taking a lot of blows, but he ended up knocking out his opponent. But just there's some guys that just have that in them. Where Lopez, I think, is, fundamentally, he has the talent, he has the fundamentals, he knows what to do. But then Lopez is the guy who doesn't, he has that fundamentals as well. But at the end of the day, guys are just born to be the most ruthless guys on the planet and can take those hits. Especially from guys who hit that hard. Because Lopez wasn't throwing no patty cakes. The commentators were out there going, why is Lopez not throwing anything hard? He's just kind of patty caking around. And Silva was the one who was really hitting him with those, good hooks and those good jabs and stuff like that. And we were all kind of wondering, hey, is Lopez going to take him down? Like, is he going to try to, get this round by this way? And then at the end of the day, Lopez he does his thing. And he goes, listen, like, if you're going to fight your way, I'm going to do it your way as well. We saw them talking to each other. Lopez, Silva was saying, listen, we're fighting up top. We're not going to the ground. And Lopez was like, sure. Like, I guess we're going to do it that way. And then it ended in that way. And the stoppage, I think, was fair, UFC regulation-wise, because Lopez was beating his bricks. When that head because it got bloody. I mean, we saw Lopez's knee. It was full of blood. Full of blood. And that's why he should have not shaved his head, because maybe that hair would have saved him. Would have stopped the bleeding. The follicles.
Yeah. Okay. We can play Smart or Dumb. We are running late as hell.
Play it, dang it.
We haven't done it
Play it.
in a while. Everybody's on. We might as well play Smart or Dumb.
I can do it.
Yeah, we can. You can intro.
It's
it
been
and get
forever.
this stuff set up. I got the scores and stuff. I just gotta get it set up again. I gotta find a marker too.
How many
guess this is,
questions? How many questions?
What? Is this finale?
Yeah. Yes, it is. We could also
Oh,
talk about Canelo real quick. I think, right?
Yeah, dude. I was about to
It's
say.
and Nick Howard,
Go ahead, Howard.
were you sad?
you
were you
saw more than I
glad?
did.
Were you both?
I was, like I told Main Man from Way Out West last night, I was in awe. It sucks to see Canelo. You just, like, your fighters that you see when you grow up, and, like, you just have those, even your players, like, favorite players you just see in their prime. Just to see them, like, they don't got it anymore to go against the best is heartbreaking. And that was Canelo for sure. He just didn't have the speed Crawford had. The footwork was a blowout. It was just complete. I mean, it wasn't a domination. I would give Canelo 4 rounds. You're talking 2 rounds away from maybe draw talks. But I think overall, Crawford, it's ridiculous how he's 37 and still at the top of his game. He is definitely one of probably the top 10 boxers of all time. I wouldn't be mad at anyone saying that. People are talking about GOAT, and that's just kind of goofy. I think he at least needs to defend his undisputed title one time. Being honest, he still got it, so no excuses. But yeah, Crawford was absolutely just mind-blowing how good his defense was last night, and keeping Canelo's hands at bay. The viral meme where Canelo got counter-punched and stared at Crawford just like, what the fuck? That's very funny. It explains the fight. It was just something, and Canelo even was pissed in like the 11th round. He like walked away from Crawford. He just couldn't figure him out. It was it was heartbreaking. It was like bittersweet. It was heartbreaking at the same time. I think it's crazy just to witness Crawford do this to me twice. First Errol Spence, and now this is pretty brutal in one hand, but you just gotta respect it. I can't even hate on him anymore. He's a good fighter. Him, Inoue fought Saturday morning. Main Man from Way Out West made it to the main event. Co-main could not make it to the main event, and understandable. It was in Japan. But I decided to just stay up, pull through. Didn't have anything to do in the morning. And it was a good fight. Inoue there's a reason why I can't say Crawford is the greatest, because I think Inoue and Usyk are both right there with him in terms of era. But I think that was great. Shout out to Lester Martinez and Christian and Billy fight. That was also just nuts. A lot of people were like, what the fuck are these dudes on the undercard just going to war for? With Canelo going after them. It's crazy. I had a lot of fun watching it. Good boxing. We'll see how it goes the rest of the year. I needed it, especially after like the Times Square card and all that stuff was very disappointing. This was a fun boxing weekend. This was a fun fight weekend. We had a good UFC card too. And that's why I like combat sports. Because, you can get your boxing and be nerdy and all your probing and counter punches, but why not just knock people out with back spinning elbows and just completely fucking them up? Get best of both worlds. People knocking people out. That's my take on Canelo Crawford UFC Noche weekend.
Jeez. Canelo, man.
He had a good run. He had a good run, man.
One of the best ones.
Great run. One of the
Incredible
best
run.
Mexican boxer.
One of the
Best
best-
Mexican boxer of all
yeah.
time. Shout out
All
Julio
right, I'm
Cesar
ready.
Chavez.
All right, dude. So, last Smart or Dumb finale. The current score is me for 6. K-Stone and Howard tied at 3. So anybody's game left with 10 questions today. We will spin the wheel at the very end of the podcast. It's going to be a late night for you. Thanks for everybody sticking around with us through a 2-hour podcast. About to be 2.5, but P4, take it away.
All right, it's been a while, so we'll start this out with kind of one of our classic questions, especially since Nick Howard's here, and we already touched on the Titans, but Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, has looked decent in his first couple of starts. Stuff to improve on, obviously, but the team around him, I mean, whatever, right? Last number 1 overall pick, quarterback, to start their first 2 games and go 0-2. Who was the last one to do that? Cam Ward's 0-2 after being named the starter, first overall pick quarterback. Who was the last quarterback to start his career 0-2, being named the starter after being picked first overall? Got a couple seconds going on right here. All right, we ready? We got an answer?
I got it.
Yes.
All right, let's see it.
Probably gonna be a tough one.
Caleb Williams, Bryce Young. Caleb Williams won his debut. Bryce Young is the correct answer. Wow. Look at K-State,
You won it.
man. So
I
inspiring.
remember that. I was like, oh, here he comes. No, he didn't.
Oh my god! And it was against the Titans. I completely forgot about
I
that.
remember
Oh,
that, bro.
I just remember that being such a shit Will Levis game. I completely forgot about anything else. God.
All right, well that's a football
funny.
question. Let's go move over to the UFC real quick. As of whatever today is, September 14th, 2025, what country has the most current UFC champions? What country has the most current UFC champions?
This may not even be the right answer, but I'm gonna
There's a
answer
couple of
it.
countries represented. We got an answer?
I got it. PC, we're waiting for PC.
I got it. Right here.
All right, let's see it.
America.
America, they only have 1. Georgia, they only have 1. And Australia is tied for first place with 2. Australia and Russia.
Oh,
Valentina Shevchenko and Magomed Ankalaev and JDM and Volk. Georgia, Ilya Taporia is not Georgian. I don't think he really represents Georgia. It's definitely not the flag that they have on his UFC thing. But yes, the Caucasus Mountains does have quite a few of UFC champions. Unfortunately, that is not a country. That does it for question number 2. Do we want to... Yeah, let's do one of these fancy questions. So we're going to go around in a circle. And since how about first one to not get one it loses and the other 2 get points.
okay.
Name a Super Bowl winning head coach. We can start off with our current champ PC.
Andy Reid.
Kyle.
John Gruden.
John Harbaugh.
Belichick.
Sean McVay.
Mike Tomlin.
Lombardi.
Nick Sirianni.
Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Lou Holtz.
I don't think Lou Holtz ever won a Super Bowl. Checking.
I know the face. I know the guy. Tony Dungy. Did I say that right?
You did say Tony Dungy. Accomplishments. No, he only coached for 1 year, and it was the Jets in '76. They went 3-10.
Gosh,
no,
I thought he was. I
fucking-
thought he was
no.
Broadway Joe. Oh.
The Colts guy. Fuck.
Can't believe you guys.
That's who I was thinking
You
of.
didn't do Tomlin.
No, we said Tomlin.
No,
I said
Tomlin
Tomlin. I said
About
Tomlin.
Pete Carroll.
No, fuck.
Pete Carroll was
Pete
okay.
Carroll. Yeah.
But Lou Holtz, K-Stout lost that
what's a
one.
Colts
Give-
coach?
I think Herm was the one.
Wait, so
when they
I'm
won
the
it.
only
not
one who
Herman.
loses
Jim
points there?
Hold up.
What?
No, you don't lose a point. Everyone else just gets a point.
Oh, that's okay. I don't lose a point, but everyone gets a point. That's good.
Yeah, you just,
I'm
you
glad.
Just missed. You just
Okay.
get a miss.
All right.
Oh, I thought Lou Holtz was
He did
Broadway
win one with the
Joe.
Colts. Tony Dungy did win one with the Colts, bro.
Dungy, yeah, that's what I was saying.
But
Dungy.
I lost.
Yeah,
It
Lou
doesn't.
Holtz, Kyle, the answer before you.
Oh, I'm tripping. I thought you were talking about Tony Dungy. Only coached 1 year. My
All
fault.
right, so K-Stout lost that one. That's 3 questions then.
Bro,
I mean,
what
do I got?
what was that? What is that answer, bro? That's such a random answer.
Another NFL coaching question. We got a couple 0-2 teams. Let's not sugarcoat it, guys, in this podcast. Hugh Jackson was the last head coach to go 0-16. 2008, the Detroit Lions went 0-16. Who was their head coach? I know you guys have all heard this name before, but it is a tough one.
Oh my gosh,
0-16.
I
Dan
can't.
Orlovsky, starting quarterback. Dan
I
Campbell
literally
was
can
on
only
that.
think of the good head coaches out of the
Yeah,
Lions, like
Detroit.
Jim Caldwell and like Schwartz.
That's it.
Fuck. Yeah, you got it. What the fuck? Yeah, no way. I'd be mind blown.
Do we have an answer? No, don't show it yet, you fucking
It's
dipshit.
not even the real name. I said the Pats offensive coordinator.
Mine says
Bill
main
Belichick.
man from way out west. I think that was pretty accurate.
What year was it? 2008.
I have no idea.
2008.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
he got the
clue. I
first
couldn't
overall
even-
pick. They ended up
I couldn't
drafting
even tell
Matthew
you
Stafford.
who
Howard, give
won
me a
in
name.
2008. I have no idea.
It wasn't Steve Mariucci.
Dude, there's no way it was Steve.
You gotta give me an
Mariucci.
answer.
4, 3, 2,
No,
1.
we get to think for an
We're
hour.
done.
We all got it wrong. He didn't give you an answer.
What's that say? Kirk Neuenhuis.
Ken Wissenhut.
Yeah, and was it on? Yeah. No, it was Rod Marinell.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
I would have never guessed.
I would have
that.
never even
That's-
thought of that.
That's
guy.
crazy that he coached them. I didn't even know that.
Rod Marinell.
I forgot he was even a head coach.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly. Explains a lot.
What is? We ready for the next question?
No.
One of our featured games this afternoon was the Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. Closest to the pin gets the point. What is the combined height of Bryce Young and Kyler Murray? Oh, you guys got to do math. How many inches are in a foot? It's not 10.
We have to do by inches.
Closest to the pin gets the point.
Okay, I got my number.
I got my number.
Mr. Howard, sir.
This is a stupid question.
This is a good question. All right, what do we got?
I got 5'9.5".
That's like an average. No,
You're stupid.
the
You said
combined
combined.
height.
Oh, in inches?
145 inches, 144 inches. I have to do math. I got these in feet.
Okay, can you do mine? Can you combine
141
mine?
inches.
Cause no, cause
you can't-
my-
no, that's not a fucking answer. 144 divided by 12 is 12 feet. No, they are not 6 inches or 6 feet tall. And then would you have 145? 144 was the
I said
closest
141.
answer. 141. Fuck you.
What is it? What's the answer?
It's 11 foot 8 and a quarter inch. I think Howard is closest.
Yeah, because I'm over.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy that you hit it basically right on the
Yeah, he was a little low.